The men's swimming and diving team takes part in the Big Ten Championships Wednesday through Saturday this week in Columbus, Ohio. The Badgers are currently ranked 22nd in the country. Last week, the women's swimming and diving team placed third at the Big Ten meet, its best finish since 2005. Head coach Whitney Hite is here. We'll have some opening comments, then take questions.
Yeah, we're really excited for this week going over to Columbus. Ought to be a pretty interesting meet. I know that Indiana and Michigan are really well coached and very talented, and Ohio State hosting. I'm sure that they're going to put on a good performance for their home fans, and we're just really excited. Again, as I said with the women's meet, it's kind of the next step, the last step before the last step, and we're treating it as such. But we're excited for our seniors. It's a kind of senior-dominated team. We're excited for them to finish off on a good note and kind of keep the mojo rolling from the women's meet right into the men's meet.
I know you talk a lot about your seniors, but you have some freshmen that have been really contributing a lot too. Cooper Hodge, Kevin Pomeroy. Tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah, we've got a lot of seniors and we've got a lot of freshmen. And with freshmen, it's fun to watch them develop from the time they, first dive in the pool, the first practice to where they are now. It's quite a process. And Kevin's done a great job. Developing this year, and we're excited to see him rip a lot of dives and do really well. And Cooper is so versatile. He's really helped us all through the year in so many different events. But they're a bunch of guys that I don't think a lot of people know about that hopefully after this weekend they'll know a lot more about. Cameron Tyso, Griffin Back, Justin Tomprano, Nico Steins, Kevin we've just got a great group of freshman guys that are, I think, going to surprise some people.
Right. How did you see Matthew Hutchins learn from his Olympic experience and take that into this year?
Matt came in and really did a nice job of kind of just picking up where he left off. I think he was a little bit disappointed with his performances in the Olympics. And, again, you hear about the Olympic kind of letdown. And really, I think he was really hard on himself in the fall. And we got to kind of a point where we sat down and discussed some things and talked about, where do we want to be in 4 months? Where do we want to be in 4 years? And I think that kind of put everything in perspective for him. But, he's been a great leader for this team. He is very competitive and highly critical of himself. So what makes you great also can destroy you, and at times it causes a huge amount of frustration. But I think I think he's learned to put things in perspective, maybe not be so hard on himself. But again, he's such a competitor. It's been difficult, but he's going to do really well.
Brian.
Cannon Clifton, Brett Pinfold, two of your seniors, both guys that have shown a lot of versatility. How important have they been to the growth of the program over the time that they've been a part of it?
Those are two guys from Texas that were maybe a little bit overlooked from their programs in their own home state, and we're both really lucky to get both of them. And again, they've just really developed. From where they came in to where they are now, it's night and day. And not only as athletes, but as people. And that's really the fun part of the job. You see young adults grow into adults and men. I don't think there are two better racers in the country. Brett Pinfold in particular will race you. And you can't really teach that. And Cannon it will do whatever it takes to be the best. And so they've really done a nice job of coming in and setting a tone for our team and in a roundabout way leading this team. And it's a different team than certainly when they came in. I've said all year that this is a really good team. I know that our record may not show that, But I think the performances this weekend and in March at NCAA's will show everybody.
I know that there's 3 other seniors in that class that are I get kind of like flown under the radar, I guess you could say. What are you expecting out of them? I know that they've done some pretty big things that aren't really talked about all the time.
Sure. Well, kind of like with the women's team, I think it's not just, 1 or 2 people. It's got to be everybody. And we always look to the seniors to have a big impact on our team. We're expecting them to be spot on. And I know that it's important. We'd like to get them all to the next step, to NCAA's, and I think they'll get there. So it's an exciting time for them and for us. But certainly, anytime you can get good senior leadership, I think that's really important.
This is a program that's perennial kind of top 5 team the last couple of years now, and looking to try to do that again. How would you assess the Big Ten and how it's grown and how it's improved over the time that you've been here?
Sure. Not that the conference was bad when I got here 6 years ago, but I think, with Michigan's rise, they won a national championship, I think, in 2013. They've been very, very good. Indiana has gotten better. Minnesota is very well coached, and they're very talented. Ohio State has seen a resurgence. And so those 4 teams are perennially in the top 20 year in and year out, with Indiana and Michigan being in the top 10. And so it's a legit conference. And I've been in the SEC and I've been in the Pac-12, so I do know what I'm talking about as far as that goes. And it's nice to be relevant in the conference, and it's nice to be relevant at the NCAA level. So, as I told the Michigan coach at the women's meet, we're better because of where you are, that you have raised the bar for us, and we're better for it. So keep pushing, because we're going to keep chasing until we catch you.
I was going to kind of piggyback off that. So the women finished 3rd. You're trying to go for another top 5 in the men. Some would view Wisconsin swimming as on the rise, and it's nice that you're relevant, but it doesn't seem like you're satisfied with nice, right?
No, I think I'm a nice person, but that's always up for debate. But I think, the goal is to win. And that's why you swim a race. That's why you run a race. That's why you play a football game or a basketball game, to win. And I took this job because I want to win. I want to win Big Ten championships, and I want to win national championships. And when I win once, I'm going to want to win more. And I've learned about myself that there is no finish line. That as well as we swam with the women last week, I'm thinking, okay, we can be better. When Drew Hite won his 200 back at NCAA's, on the drive home 3 hours later, I'm thinking, okay, what do I need to do to help him get better? What makes you great also destroys you. But yeah, there's satisfied. I don't think that's going to happen. And that's okay, as long as we get to where we need to be.